welcome to Scrapping on the Fly. My name is Kristen, and I am here with day 7 of Follow a Sketch February for 2025. A hop started by the lovely Sandy at Scrapping Reflections, or here on YouTube, you can find her at State Goddess. And it is a 2-pager. It's only 4 pictures, which is a little bit different for me. Normally with a 2-pager you get lots, but I'm actually going to add a 5th picture, and I am going to use Chamel's main character energy. I really like this because it's one of the only collections that I have that has a lot of purple in it, and these pictures are from a wine tasting, and that just makes me think grapes, wine, purple. It all works out just fine. So I have my papers, my embellishments, my pictures, and this 2-page sketch. So let's see how this goes. So I didn't mention before, this sketch is a creative memory sketch, and you can find all the sketches that Sandy has picked for Follow a Sketch February at the Scrapping Reflections Facebook page. So this has got lots of layers, strips. It's a perfect way to use up longer scraps. So everything that I have right now is all from scraps, except now I'm starting to build our trim picture mat papers, and most of that I did with the 6x8 paper pad. I did have a couple scraps that were big enough for me to make picture mats, but for the most part I use the 6x8 paper pad. So in the sketch, and I can't really put it up at the top because when it's a 2-pager, it blocks things. So it'll be up there briefly in the beginning of the video, but then, like I said, you can always go and see Sandy where she's posted them in Scrapping Reflections album on her Facebook, on the Facebook page, or in the group. So I'm using all these lovely colors, and because 3 of the 4 papers I'm using are white based with a pattern or icons on the top, I didn't want to use a white background paper. I also love when these collections are such bright, cheerful collections like this one, and the contrast between that and that black. You don't see a ton of black because quite a bit gets covered. It's kind of all the pictures are kind of matted in the end with a little bit of black around them, but that's really about it. So I didn't want to do white. Originally I was going to get the really pretty like circle bubble looking papers that I had 2 of them in this paper pad because bubbly wine, all that kind of thing. I know, yes, whatever. Anyway, but then I was looking at the sketch and I'm like, the background paper is going to get covered quite a bit. You would barely be able to tell that there were circles and all the really fun things in the background. So I decided against it and went with a solid, which I'm thrilled with, and I love how it turned out. It probably wouldn't have taken me as long, but I stopped a lot to text back and forth with Tara, the paper snob, and I was him-hawing a lot and kind of being picky about what I was doing, and I don't know, that's not my normal style, but it's fine. Plus, like, punching all of these little things out took a minute. So in this sketch there are like the little scallops, but I did a paper punch, and I love the look of it. And so, plus these are all my school friends, so that just fits. It has nothing to do with it, honestly, you all. I didn't even think of it until just now when I was saying that. I just like the paper punch. I think the effect and the look of it is really neat. And so I have 2 different ones, and I like to use them. And I use a punch to get my the fishtails on the bottom of my the strips as well. So I've used a couple punches today, so go me. So I'm just going to start embellishing. I did matte most everything on like a purpley color because I am going to bring purple in, obviously, with the strips at the top and bottom. And then it's like a purple where I punch that paper, torn paper, or the paper notebook paper. So I do want to make sure I bring in that purpley color. So I used a couple different 6x8 papers to matte those. And then I did have enough of the cloud paper to matte that one vertical picture. So that was a way to use up some more scraps. And that 5th picture, which is the bottom one on the left layout, is the snacks that they had us pairing our wine up with. And it was some of the most interesting things. I have the book somewhere, and I'll put it Oh, I could actually see it from here. But it was like Cheetos and gummy bears and stuff like that, Chex Mix. It was just interesting little mixture or odd little things that I would have never thought to match with a fancy wine. Now, let me just say, I'm not a wine drinker. There are a couple that I like enough to drink, like if somebody says you want a glass of wine, but I'm not typically ever going to go buy wine. It is definitely not my drink of choice. It is also my friend Ashley's, not her drink of choice either. So when we were invited to this wine tasting, we were like, yes. We both were like, I don't like wine. Neither do I. But it was so much fun, and we had such a good time with all of these ladies and laughed so much. And it was so needed. It was right before school started in the beginning of the year. And so we were sitting around, matching up these drinks, these wines and stuff. And like I said, I know nothing about wine. And so we just laughed and cracked up. And of course, the ladies we went with have been before. And so they're a little bit more like actual wine drinkers. So, and the poor couple next to us, bless their little hearts. I felt bad for them because Ashley and I were like just laughing a lot, but it was fun. And so I've ruled out a couple of wines I will never ever try again. So, but anyway, I wanted to finish off my layout with some other icons or like kind of a bigger floral of something. So I found these yellow flowers. There were two flowers that I was going to use, and then this little ticket that I just put down. But there's a third flower. I thought it might be too big, but it ends up looking fine and working for me. So I moved that ticket over underneath the cluster up in the top right corner. And I'm going to put the little yellow, or the kind of big yellow flower up here at the top. I just feel like it adds a little something and a little more color, because like, not that this is lacking in color by any means, but I just like having those focal points, and it's still doing that triangle effect to where like the gold and now the yellow is all bringing your eye line to the pictures, which is obviously the point. So I'm using gold jelly pin or jelly roll pin to do my journaling, and this little thing says something exciting, which it totally was. And I journal quite a bit on this little itty bitty card, so it's kind of small, talking about how we weren't even gonna go because we were so exhausted and neither of us really like wine, but we decided last minute we would go ahead and go, and had such a good time. Here is the sketch again. Like I said, this is from Creative Memories. And I enjoy this. It is great layout. You could easily do just one side. You could easily combine this and do smaller pictures and make one page out of both, out of the full 2-pager. But I love how this turned out, and all the bright colors. This collection is so much fun. And the title at the bottom says, "There's our wine," which is absolutely true. They brought us like, I don't know, 8 different wines or something like that, 12 different wines we had to sip. It was lots of fun. But anyway, I hope you'll go check out everybody else who is hopping along with Follow Sketch February. The link for the playlist is below, as well as the link for the sketches that are on Scrapping Reflections Facebook page. And I would love it if you'd give me a thumbs up if you like this video and or my layouts. And I would love it if you'd come back and see me. I hope you all have a great day. I hope you get a chance today to do something you love with someone you love. And happy scrapping.